All right. Well, finals are over at USC. So you know what that means. Back to work.
You are Locked On Trojans, your daily podcast on the USC Trojans, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Fight on, everyone. I am your host, Mark Holkin, and thank you for making Locked On USC your first listen every day. Whether you're watching on YouTube or wherever you like to download your podcast, we are free. And again, thank you for coming along. Hope you're enjoying the show. If you haven't done so already, do me a favor, hit that red subscribe button on YouTube. And to those of you who already have, thanks again. Much appreciated. All right, so this episode of Locked On USC is brought to you by Omaha Steaks. Is a great gift from the heart, a gift that will be remembered with every unforgettable bite. Order with complete confidence today, knowing you're ordering the very best. Visit omahasteaks.com. Use promo code Locked On at the checkout to get that extra $30 off your order. So finals. And, I guess we'll call it the break between the Pac-12 Conference Championship game and practice is over. It's time for the football team to get back to work. Caleb Williams, he's just about done, I would imagine, making the rounds, doing the circuit, showing up on all the morning shows, NFL shows, showing off his Heisman, talking about how USC has 8 and everybody else is behind them. Closest is Ohio State and Oklahoma and Notre Dame. They have 7. USC has 8, and they have the reigning Heisman Trophy winner coming back in 2023. Good sign. So, because Caleb is now almost done, and Cotton Bowl is coming up in a few weeks. The media today, the local media for USC, myself, wearec.com, we were notified on Tuesday that the team's practice schedule was released for this week. As you know, or you should know, every team is allocated 15 practice sessions leading up to their bowl game. Obviously, USC, their bowl game is the Cotton Bowl, playing January 2nd, so they'll spread those 15 out between now and the week leading up to, because they'll spend a few days in Dallas leading up to the actual game. But it's not like this team has been lounging around doing nothing. Strength and conditioning coach Benny Wiley and his staff and the GAs, anybody who basically is not out on the recruiting trail doing it homes, they're leading the workouts at Howard Jones Field every morning with the team. So what we did find out again, Friday and Saturday the team will be practicing, but before practice on Thursday, Caleb Williams will finish up his circuit junket, doing his press conference at the McKay Center for the local media to talk about his Heisman Trophy. That will be Thursday afternoon. I won't give out the time. I don't want anybody showing up kind of trying to crash the party, so to speak. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be public knowledge anyways. However, practice will be Friday and Saturday morning. The team, the media will not be watching practice. The media can interview players after Friday morning session, but Saturday we're pretty much persona non grata. Don't come by the campus. Don't be there. So I'm not sure how much news, notes, observations we'll have, but whatever we have, we'll make sure that you get them as well here at Locked On USC. And don't forget, you'll be able to get any type of written content and team coverage over there at wearec.com. Real quick plug, $10. We've got the subscription special going for a year, all the way through fall camp 2023. Take advantage of it. You're not going to get better coverage of USC from myself, Eric McKinney, Scott Schrader covering recruiting. You're just not. Period. Sorry. I respect the competition, but we're pretty good at what we do over at wearesc.com on the VIP level. So what you will get out of these practices are Lincoln Riley's injury reports, which are going to be day to day. That's what Lincoln Riley likes to do. So I'm not sure what we're going to get out of these practices that no one's going to see. Obviously, this is. I think the focus is going to be on two areas: Miller Moss and the offensive line. So we need to make sure Miller's getting his first team reps with the guys he's going to be throwing to in the game. And obviously, the reshuffled O-line. We know Brett Nealon is out. Will Andrew Voorhees, will he be available to play? Will he opt out so he can be available for the NFL Combine and USC's Pro Day? This is a tough decision for Andrew. He's got to balance his health and the bowl game preparation and draft prep. He's put in his time. This is really difficult for me to cross this threshold because I am not an opt-out person. I understand it. I can respect the decision. I don't like it. I would prefer everybody, kind of finish what they started. Like I said, I get it though. But let's assume both Brett and Andrew aren't available. Now you got two starters out for the Cotton Bowl, potentially. So a couple scenarios you're going to play around with. You're going to put Justin Dedich at center, or do you move him to left guard if Andrew can't play? If Dedich is at center, does that mean Gino Quinones is going to be the left guard? Is Jonah Monheim going to slide inside at right guard? Mason Murphy taking over at right tackle? I'm pretty confident Bobby Haskins is going to maintain that left tackle spot. Cortland will be backing him up. Cortland could have a really strong couple of weeks of practice here and push Bobby back to 1B. We'll find out. There's Josh Henson, Lincoln Riley. Again, the O-line going to be reshuffled. So, it's been a strength all season, but they're kind of a wounded animal. So we'll see what they're able to produce for the Cotton Bowl. As a team, if we're looking at the O-line specifically, Miller Moss, a quarterback, what's the concern? Protecting him. I did a little quick research. Tulane, as a team, they had 24 sacks through 13 games. So, to kind of put that number in contrast to USC context, USC had 36 through 13 games. So, again, we'll see how USC's O-line holds up after their Utah breakdown. And, throughout the year, let's remind ourselves, be cognizant that Caleb covered up for some poor O-line protections occasionally. So Miller's going to have to do his best under pressure. And we're going to assume that Tulane's going to do some things differently, especially if USC's got a makeshift O-line, so to speak. Well, the running backs, this is going to be interesting. Austin Jones is going to be the guy. We know that. Travis Dye won't be available. But we also know that bowl games are really good platforms for freshmen to kind of jump off the platform and kind of make a splash. Well, Ray Leak Brown is that freshman. Well, is that going to happen? What about Darwin Barlow? He'll be back home playing in front of his home folk in Texas. Will the run game itself, will that play a larger role with Caleb being day-to-day? I'm assuming that, Miller Moss is going to be the man for the game. And if that's the case, at the wide receiver, I would look for him and Kyron Ware-Hudson and Kyle Ford to kind of play pitch and catch to get I would look for those guys to have a kind of a, I guess, a big game in the Cotton Bowl. Why? Comfort level. They typically are going to have the same reps working together during the regular season. So, that moves up this with the bowl game prep. So when those guys are out there taking their reps with Miller, I think Miller's comfort level is going to look to Kyron, to Kyle. But he still has Taj, Jordan, Brendan Rice, Terrell Bynum. It's not like he's hurting for safety nets, right? Miller Moss is going to be just fine. The offense, I think, is going to be just fine. I think the key is going to be the offensive line. And again, what we can bring you out of practice, we'll let you know. It's going to be it'll be interesting to see what comes out of these first few practices, and then what comes out of that. We'll find out. It'll be a gift in the future that we'll bring to you. A gift that you want to either receive or give this holiday season. Omaha Steaks. That's right. This is insane. Omaha Steaks has cut prices 50% site-wide to make you the gift-giving hero that you always wanted to be. The holidays are here, so achieve gifting greatness when you give the gift of perfectly aged, tender, and delicious Omaha Steaks. Okay, great. Look, I've had Omaha Steaks many times. Fantastic. I love them. Grilled, smoked, fried, broiled. I don't care. I love steak. Omaha Steaks are really, really good. And the company Omaha, they put together a really delicious selection of various gift packages to make shopping for the ones you love nice and easy. So go to omahasteaks.com and take advantage of 50% off site-wide, plus use code LOCKEDON at checkout to get an additional $40 off your order. Omaha Steaks has everything you need to give the gift that's simply perfect. Send an assortment of mouth-watering favorites like the delicious butcher's cut filet mignon, the air-chilled boneless chicken, the ultra-juicy burgers, and even easy-to-prepare comfort meals that are ready in a flash. So don't wait. Order today and beat the shipping rush. Go to omahasteaks.com and use promo code LOCKEDON at checkout. Omaha Steaks is a gift from the heart, a gift that will be remembered with every unforgettable bite. Order with complete confidence today, knowing you're ordering the very best. So use promo code LOCKEDON at checkout to get that extra $40 off your order. A minimum order may be required. All right. Thanks for making a Locked On USC your first listen today. For your second listen today, check out Locked On Sports. From the games that matter the most to the biggest stories in sports, go beyond the scoreboard and behind the scenes with local experts and insights only Locked On can provide. Locked On Sports Today, available on this app, YouTube, and wherever you get your podcasts. All right, USC's on defense now, and practice is coming. Talk about practices coming up Friday and Saturday. Who are some of the guys on defense that we should look for to kind of use as a platform and springboard themselves into the bowl game and into spring camp? That's what bowl games and bowl game prep is for. It's for the younger guys to get those extra practice repetitions. And then, you have the off-season workouts, spring camp. It's just the natural progression. These 15 practices are vital. They are integral to the growth of any program. We're going to see how Lincoln Riley and his staff use them, especially because USC is pretty young on defense. So the first name I think that pops out that everybody wants to see and hear about is Damani Jackson, cornerback, right? This is the perfect game for the 5-star recruit to kind of jump out there. He's been dealing with nagging injuries all year long. And, he played sporadically throughout the year. But, like I said, now would be a good time to remind the country why he was so highly recruited by everybody. You name the program, he probably had an offer. And he chose to go to USC over schools like Alabama, Ohio State, Michigan, LSU. I mean, just you name a school, I guarantee you, Damani had an offer. Two redshirt freshmen from the secondary who might, be looking ahead to the future. Prophet Brown, Anthony Beavers. And I say that because, again, the defensive back group is really deep. It's really young. And, these guys didn't play a lot. In fact, Anthony he probably played more between he and Prophet Brown. They saw, special teams action. But depending on how much they play in the bowl game and I guess spring camp, let's see what the future holds for these young guys. Because remember, you got Zion Branch just kind of sitting in the background, getting ready to come in. Kalen Bullock's returning. Bryson Shaw's returning. Max Williams, again, really young, deep. Zamarian Gordon. The battles in the secondary during practice, I think, leading up to the Cotton Bowl and into spring camp. Position group to watch, cornerback and safety. Here we go. Let's just throw this question out there because everybody asks about it all the time. He's a fan favorite. Is the bowl game going to be Rajon Davis time? We've heard the coaching staff, Lincoln Riley particularly, talk him up. Rajon Davis, he's close, he's ready, he's about to pop, yada, yada, yada. Well, when? Get him out on the field. We know that Raylan Goforth is into the portal. So you would think that Rajon is going to move up in the rotation, right? Little side note here with Rajon, just something to take into consideration. As everyone I will remind you again, USC got a transfer portal commitment at a position of need. Linebacker Jamil Muhammad from Georgia State. He loves to wear the jersey number 9 as well. Rajon Davis wears number 9. So things that kind of make you go, what's going to happen here? Tug of war, or will there be? We'll see what happens. Another young linebacker. Hey, do you give Garrison Madden, the freshman from Georgia, the opportunity to play in the Cotton Bowl? A little cameo appearance before spring camp? I don't know. We'll find out. Defensive line, rush in. Look, not any extra pressure, but Corey Foreman, he's got to start making a difference. Like I said, bowl game preparations are a great time for the younger players, the players that you're looking forward to playing in the future, to really make an impression on the coaching staff. So, I looked up how many sacks Tulane had as a team defensively. Did the same thing. How many did their offense give up? Well, they only gave up 25 sacks on the season. That's not too bad. Can Corey make a difference? Can he get to Tulane's quarterback? We know that Tuipulotu had of USC's 36, I think he had 13 of those, 13 and a half of those. That'll get it done, right? A third. So are we going to see names like Colin Mobley, Earl Barquette, Jamar Sakona? Those are names we rarely heard throughout the regular season, and I doubt that's going to change going into the bowl game unless, they're pressed into it by injuries. So, I don't know. We'll find out. Again, in theory, bowl game preparation is for the younger players to to kind of get another opportunity to show the coaching staff what they can do. And you give the veterans a little bit extra time to let their bodies heal up. We know that USC played through injuries. Everybody played through injuries. But we're here to talk about USC, fight on. So specifically, you balance it out. Which players need that yellow jersey to wear during practice, which means they're kind of off limits from physical contact, or they're limited is the best way to put it. So we'll find out. We'll try and bring you the information as we get it. So far, from what I've seen of Tulane, which is basically, I've watched spots most of the first quarter of their win over UCF, Central Florida, in the AAC championship game. They have a really good pain in the butt running back. He reminds me of Jacquizz Rodgers from Oregon State. USC fans, you recognize that name. So USC's strength, tackling, sarcasm. I hope you heard that in my voice. It's going to need to be top shelf against Tulane, because that running back, he does not fall backwards ever. He might not be big, but he gains positive yardage every time he touches the ball. USC's proven that they can stop a guy who gets positive yardage. Remember what they did with Zach Charbonnet in UCLA. USC is going to need to be able to recreate that type of effort on defense against Tulane, or they're going to lose that game. I'll tell you that right now. But I'll start breaking down Tulane more over the next few weeks. We got plenty of time. Because, again, we got lots of time to see what develops with personnel decisions at USC, injuries, who players opting out, that type of stuff. So you can bet on it that we'll talk more about Tulane's personnel and more about USC's personnel as we get closer to the Cotton Bowl. But if you want to get some information about the game coming up, head on over to betonline.net, because they are your number one source for your sports betting information, stats, news, and analysis. You can get the latest odds and trends for every professional and amateur league out there, from pro football to college bowl season to basketball and World Cup. We've got it all at betonline.net. And if you love sports podcasts, if you're watching and listening to this, I know you do, you can even find those at BetOnline as well. We're always the fastest and easiest way to get your betting info. So head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more. BetOnline, where the game starts. Okie doke. Let's wrap up this episode of Locked on USC. Let's get some transfer portal update going here. It's such a fluid situation. I'm probably going to do this at least 2 or 3 times a week, at least. Again, because it's so fluid. Names coming and going. I just want to make sure that we leave no stone unturned. You will always know what's happening at USC when you're watching or listening to me on Locked on USC, because you're making this your first listen every day. Here's a name. Arizona defensive line transfer, big guy in the middle, Kyan Bars. He took a visit to USC on Tuesday. He's going to be making a decision soon. He's a position of need for USC, but he's also starting to see a lot of interest from some SEC schools like LSU, Mississippi State, and lately Tennessee. By the way, I just want to get this in here because I said Mississippi State. Rest in peace to Coach Mike Leach. Rest in peace, Pirate. Mortality starts to hit you a little bit harder when you're in that same age bracket. Coach Leach is he was a few years older than me. Not a lot, a handful of years. So that one hits a little bit closer to home. Anyways, rest in peace to a great personality college football is going to miss. Back to Kyan Bars. He visited USC. Again, our recruiting guru that we like to refer to from we over there at wearesc.com, Scott Schrader, he feels pretty confident that USC is going to land Kyan, which is great. We need him. 1 year, we'll take him. Another name that you might be interested in hearing. We talked about Kyrie Jackson, the defensive back from Alabama, who's showing interest at USC. Here's another one. He was a 5-star in the class of 2020, played at North Carolina. Tony Grimes. So he played there for 3 years for the Tar Heels. During his career, he's got 97 tackles and an interception. It's not that impressive, you would think, right? I mean, you got guys on USC who had more than that this year. Mekhi Blackman came over, had more than that as a 1-year rental, so to speak, through the free agency transfer portal. Is Tony Grimes going to be that guy? He's taking a visit to USC on Thursday. USC's competition is, let's see, they got Penn State, Texas A&M, doubtful, Florida State, possible, Oregon, possible, Virginia Tech, Colorado, Georgia, South Carolina. Colorado is going to be the wild card there with primetime Deion Sanders. Keep an eye on that one. Little quick update on the defensive end, rush end, defensive line, rush end. Again, I really hope I'm pronouncing this right. Tunmiche Adelaide he's down to his final 4. USC, Michigan State, Cal, and Miami. So he's taking a visit to Miami this weekend, and then he's taking his final visit. He's already visited Michigan State. His final visit will be Cal, and then he's going to make a decision. So unless Miami is able to throw him another bag of cash, I guess the young man is either going to be a 2-time NIL winner, or I think he's going to come to USC. That's what it's basically coming down to. USC and Cal give you great academics. USC gives you academics and football and NIL opportunity. Miami gives you NIL. And maybe Mario Cristobal turns that thing around. Not till he learns how to develop a quarterback. Anywho, I digress. More for USC. This weekend, USC is going to be hosting a couple of commits. Jacoby Lane, wide receiver. Sam Green, defensive line. But they're also hosting cornerback CJ Blocker, who is already committed to Utah. Nevertheless, there's a little bit of a trend that CJ might be interested in USC. Again, CJ is already committed to Utah. We'll see what transpires after he visits USC this weekend. Again, with Jacoby Lane and Sam Green. Blocker, if you're not familiar, he's a 4-star cornerback from the state of Texas. Again, committed to Utah. So, what else have I not mentioned? Oh, we know about Jamil. USC also got a punter kicker in the transfer portal from Arizona State. Eddie Kaplicki, I think I pronounced it right. Polish pronunciation, spelling Czaplicki. I apologize if I butcher it. Anyway, all Pac-12, second team. Not bad. And he's a kickoff specialist as well. So we got some competition for Dennis Lynch and Aiden Sleep Dalton going into spring camp. There you go. You're up to date with USC personnel movement, transfer portal, commitments, offers, visits. There you go. And I'm out of time again. But you're lucky. Locked on USC comes at you 5 days a week, and I will be back again with another episode tomorrow. So until then, USC fans, you know what to do.